Hi everyone, I'm back for another episode of Let's Talk About It with my teammates, Doga and Sara. Doga and Sara are both international students. Well, Sarah's from Puerto Rico, but as we've continued to talk about her experience coming to New York, I think it's fair to group you as an international student.
Yeah.
Doga's from Turkey. There's so many people, I feel like especially now with women's sports growing, who want to come and play in the US for school. And there's a lot of cool opportunities to play in the US. So why did you guys come to Cornell?
I knew since I was very little that I wanted to play, wanted to get recruited and play in the States. But I didn't know, I just wanted to get recruited. And then all of a sudden I get an email from Cornell University. Me, my dad, my mom were like, what's this? My dad works in a company in the States and he called his boss and was like, look, my daughter just received an email from Cornell University. Is it good or bad? And they were all like, what? You have to tell her to accept it, whatever.
I actually had a Zoom with Doga my freshman year before she ever committed to Cornell, right?
Yeah, she was the first teammate that I ever met. That was a big part of why I chose Cornell. Honestly, I heard from other people that when they went to the US, they're like a barrier. Mm-hmm. Some of my friends who were already going to school in the US were telling me there's always gonna be you're different. Some people have issues fitting in, so I was really nervous.
I'm sorry at your expense. Some of the funniest things that happen in a locker room is when you guys come in and talk about a culture barrier, or you guys pose up for work. Or
sometimes I forget the word. And
sometimes we try too, and we sound crazy.
The first time I got a detailed class on how to do a full good essay was in senior year. You have to do so many essays, and a lot of people here just do them in 3 hours because they're so. Maria's I have to do an essay at 5 p.m. and she sits at 2 p.m. and she's done. And I'm always I take 2 days, guys. So she's helped me a lot with that.
Everything's so big. Everything's so far from the portions. Food is a big thing for me because I love Turkish food.
Really?
And yeah.
A big thing for me was when I'm back home, if I say something not even mean, just a comment to someone, I don't even think about if it's gonna affect them because everyone's just like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's just a lot of things in the States that are people have so many different opinions in a lot of things that if you say something, I could say something that I don't even mean anything and people could see it's racist or something like that.
That's a good point because we'll when Cam and I went to Europe over the summer to play, we were kind of shocked by how some of the teams would interact with one another. And even just when I've gone off and traveled on my own, I've definitely noticed just cultural differences in how people interact and are able to take feedback.
People were more expressive here. Right? So when I first came in, it was the preseason testing. And I'm trying to do push-ups and everyone's hyping me up let's go. I'm I never had this. Screaming.
You go! I came to the locker room and I said something like that. Remember?
Yeah, I remember it. And I remember going home and being
what did I even say?
the kids are gonna be all right. You were we need to just everyone needs to stop taking things personally. If I say something, listen to the words. I don't hate you. We need to just get serious.
It's not the mentality.
For me, if someone comes up to me and it's okay, you'll get it next time.
No. I have to get it now.
Because is that what you're expecting from me?
Yeah.
You guys are giving the real tea. I learned recently from one of the bills that I've been kind of researching and helping with that student athletes that are international students can't get NIL deals in the US. I have a friend whose whole team got an NIL deal and she couldn't go and do it because she's an international student. You guys didn't know about that?
No.
Oh, well, be careful.
It was such a challenge because coming in, I didn't know anything. How am I gonna get a number? How am I gonna get a bank account? It was a lot of the stuff that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Ozalp.
Yeah, just use Ozalp.
One thing I'm really interested in knowing is how overall it's impacted you guys.
It was a challenge for me. Really love it where you're from and you're leaving. It's gonna be hard, but you should always keep an open mind. So me, I came here thinking no. I came here and I was volleyball, study, and then go home. I didn't want to meet anyone. When we went somewhere, I just stayed silent. And that was making me not like it. Because obviously it's not the ideal place. I want to be home. I want to be at the beach or whatever. But you have to do it. It's what it takes to get a degree. Like, you know, it's good for your future. Like, it's what I want to do. A bunch of my teammates, including me, went to Puerto Rico over spring break. I think that was one of the best experiences of my whole year because they know how much I talk about it. For them to see like what I'm feeling, you know.
I'm homesick. Like I want to go back.
It was scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, like, are people gonna like me? Or are they gonna think I'm like too much? Or is my only personality gonna be like, oh, I'm Turkish? This is like a great opportunity, and that's why you're here, and you need to realize that and just like break out of your comfort zone. I was not like instantly able to keep up with conversations. So like, you remember, I was like really shy, really quiet. It took me a little while to like open up. If you're not the most outgoing person, that might happen to you as well. But just like, don't be afraid to talk to people. They're not gonna judge you for like saying like a wrong word. I was just trying to like be so perfect.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss home, and that's okay. Last fall, where I was like really struggling, I was going through like some personal stuff.
I remember this.
I texted Sarah, I was like, God, I miss home. Like, I just want to go home. She's like, oh, I'm gonna skip some classes and like leave early and go to Puerto Rico. You should do that too. I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. So I asked my parents, and they're like, of course you can come. We would love for you to come. And that's why I did. And that was like so good for me at the time.
Sometimes you just need it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to go.
I'm not international, but I've like
Same.
flown home from. I've been like, oh, spring break. Nope, sorry guys, I'm going to California.
Yeah.
Like, I have to dip. But
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for coming on the show and talking about your experience. I think this is going to help so many people. If you guys have any questions for Doga or Sara, you know, I'll tag them,
Reach
DM
out.
them, reach out, ask questions in the comments, and you know, maybe we'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys.
Hey guys, it's Sydney. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk About It. If you did, make sure to leave a review and send it to a friend. Let's keep this conversation going. I'll see you guys next week.